Doki.
Hello and welcome back to As If with Lisa Fevral and Bysistent.
Hello.
It is my way or the byway, but it's not a reaction video. This is a podcast. We're here to deliver or whatever.
We're here to do community service once again.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. First of all, yes. Second of all, I am in bed because again, I have my head is bonked.
She is concussed.
Yeah, and like honestly,
and I was concussed last week.
kind of heavily so.
Yeah. Speaking about why do we even care? Why do we even care about Girls? That song. Girls Are Confusing. I don't know. Fuck. I love Charli, by the way.
I think it's like Girl So Confusing. That's what
Girl,
I think it is.
You walk like a bitch. That's a really funny
When
one.
I was 10, someone said
that.
I actually I sent you a video of what the fuck was that podcast with Enya and Drew?
Emergency Intercom?
Yeah. So I sent you a clip of
Yeah.
Drew showing. He was like, I was actually on the 3rd or the 4th remix. He made a remix where he's literally like to that beat where Lorde was singing. He was like, oh, like I fucked Josiah or whatever.
Okay.
That was so funny. You should have fucking watched it.
Okay, I will watch it.
She, you know what, you guys? She keeps ignoring my messages. You know, I am offended.
Okay, well, Girl, my work is shipping me
Girl,
out.
you walk like a bitch.
Girl, she ain't no diva. Girl, I've been a corporate slave this past month, so she's been struggling a little bit, okay? I've been having some family struggles, you know?
This was to pull you out of that.
That's so true.
You know?
You know what? I'm sorry.
We held hands. For those of you who haven't seen the video or who's not watching the video,
yeah.
just so you got the picture.
Yeah.
Because it was silent.
It was silent.
Silent love. It's so weird because the reason why we were even talking about it is not because this is a really good, you know, topic that's going to lead us to really deep discussions.
Yeah,
it's actually to just talk about the fact that this is so not deep.
It's actually so unserious.
It's kind of like, it's not, I can't even say that it's funny. I guess it is a little bit.
Well, it's kind of funny.
It's kind of funny because the thing is, I keep on seeing different types of like publications posting articles, like serious publications.
Yeah.
Well, serious in quotations. Talking about it as if it's like some kind of modern, like fourth wave feminism type of shit, and it's like, girl, this is like second wave feminism at best.
Yeah,
at best.
It's just so not like people are acting like it's revolutionary.
This is type of feminism, like kind of like, oh, when you figure out as a kid that guys don't get, you know,
better.
They don't get pulled out of classes, for example, for like shorts that they're wearing or something like that. Dress coded, yes. So you like realize that like, yeah, they have a dress code too, but their dress code is so like lax compared to the girls. Mm-hmm. This is the level of feminism we're talking about.
I know.
This is the type of shit you notice when you're 9 years old and you're like, wait, that's weird.
This is like the type of shit that's like, girls, we should just band together. Let's just like not fight. Let's band together. Let's not compete. I'm like,
support women even in their wrongs.
Yeah, like women supporting women. Oh my god, revolutionary.
Yeah, women can be war criminals too.
Yeah.
Woman power.
Yeah. And I just want to say, like, we're both fans. You know, we like Charli XCX.
We like Charli XCX.
I in fact love her. I have a signed photo of her on my fucking fireplace mantle, bro.
365 might actually show up as #1 on my Spotify Wrapped list.
Yeah, Vroom
like
Vroom?
This is how serious we're being here.
Vroom Vroom is my ecstasy.
Sophie, I listen to Sophie religiously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Like, I love Charli, but this has been blown out of, like, I don't know. I was reading like a bunch of like posts about the song, like people like actually like their minds are blown.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these are like
the internet blew up.
Yeah. It's like, girl, you walk like a bitch.
When I was 10, someone said that. No, I'm sorry. It's just like, it's so funny because both of them are like, I don't know if Charli's 30. I think she is.
She is.
I think she's like maybe 32 even or something like that, right?
Yeah,
like,
I think
she's in her 30s, and Lorde is nearing her 30s. She's probably like 27, 26, something like that. And I just do not understand why you guys are there. I mean, the thing is, I personally liked Charli's album.
Yeah, I loved it.
I usually like her albums in general, to be honest.
I'm
even
trying to have
like
a Brat summer.
Yeah, like even the Crash album, I still liked it.
Oh, I fucked with that one.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of people were like, it's too like whatever.
Generic
I
pop,
liked it because it was fun. Like it was still fun. But Charli Babe, like I think that maybe it's actually not even her.
No, I don't think it's her.
It's honestly the conversation around her.
Yeah, I blame everyone. I blame the audience.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm blaming the audience. Like, because Charli's such a troll. Like, I know that bitch made that. Like, she just wanted to have fun. I know that for sure. You know, I don't think she was like writing anything to be fucking revolutionary.
Actually, you know what? There was some kind of interview or something like that where her and like Lorde or whatever, they were talking about it, and they were like, I heard her lyrics when she sent it back to me, and I was like, whoa.
Oh no, it was actually, that was so funny. Her post when that song.
Can you give me my drink?
Yeah, the post when that song came out was Charli posted Lorde texting her the lyrics, and then she just texted back one blurb. Holy fuck. Like, that's so funny. Like, I honestly,
it's a little strange when they bring Charli into these conversations, because she might be also just as unself-aware as they are. I don't fucking know the girl, obviously, so I'm not gonna speak on that, but it's just really strange when they take her work and like bring it into this conversation of cultural discourse. And it's a little bit funny because, like, you know, obviously there are people who are kind of operating on a level that's a little bit not, like, it's not where it's supposed to be, in terms of like being actually an interesting commentary on society. But then there's also people who are like, for example, Rain Fisher Kwan. She's like, or like any other like essayists on YouTube, for example. A lot of them do have something interesting to say, but at the same time they kind of force to dumb it down to the point where, or not even dumb it down, but take the discourse that they want to have in a direction that they don't want to go into, because it's kind of like the direction of trends, so they can actually get at least some eyes on it, right? And it becomes like this weird thing where these conversations that are wrapped in pop culture for the sake of actually getting an audience and getting people more involved in culture get kind of mixed together with things like Charli's song where she goes, girl, being a girl is so confusing, girl, being a girl is so confusing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, okay, well, at this point we're just being fucking disrespectful. Like, these people are putting their whole, like, Charli put her whole Charlucy into this album. I get it. I like the music.
Yeah, I
agree.
But
I don't look at her lyrics going, this is commentary on society, because maybe she's trying to comment on society.
Yeah,
but I'm not I don't listen to her for that.
Yeah. And it's also just like, that's such a stretch. I'm sorry.
It's the same thing when like people try to put Lana Del Rey on a pedestal of like actually being such a commentary on society. Baby girl, like, she's this Tumblr level commentary is like not even niche Tumblr. It's like, but like it's pop Tumblr.
Yeah, it's really giving that fake deep vibe right now. You know what it reminds me of? That photo of those four friends, and there's like one guy, and they're like wearing all black with this, like a cigarette that I know they did not smoke.
Like they went to AM, like Arctic Monkeys to their AM tour, and they went to the 1975 yada yada yada. You know, it's kind of like that vibe. Yeah. And the thing is, I can say that because I was that kid. Yeah. In like 2014.
Yeah.
This bitch was wearing leather at those concerts. What do you think this is?
Yeah. You're like fucking vibing, and they're like sex and cigarettes, but you're a virgin and never smoked a cigarette in your life.
Yeah. Me 16, like in the fucking like.
It's like it's giving that type of like superficial, you know. And I just like feel like it's so like it's trying too hard and feels disingenuous, like people trying to push it to this like super deep like commentary. It's not.
Yeah,
it's just
it's kind of like the same thing
as ridiculous
when people are trying really hard to take Lorde's third album and like really try to twist it into a deeper commentary than it actually was. It was not a good commentary. She lost her grasp on reality. Like, and I don't mean, don't be offended, you guys, but I mean, she's been in the circles of way too privileged people for too long. Like, she's lost her grasp on it. And as a 16-year-old, when she was writing those songs that were hitting more,
into running our blood, but now it does.
Yeah, now it does. From the beginning, her music and whatever, like, she had that leg up with her producer who wrote her first record with her, right? And everything like that. And I'm not saying that she's not talented. I think she's talented. However, her first album hit only because of the fake povo shit. Yeah. You know, like yellow teeth, white teeth, yada, yada, yada. Like, speaking about different classes and stuff like that. And for some reason subscribing herself to like a lower class, even though clearly you ain't.
I know. Like, the whole Song of Royals is so funny.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, is it a good song? Yeah. Was it really good, revolutionary in terms of pop music back then? Yeah. Like, there's a reason why what is his name? David Bowie?
Yeah.
Why he liked it.
Here's what I'll say. Like, a song can just be good and enjoyable. Yeah. You know, music can just be good and enjoyable. Like, we don't need to interpret it to fucking filth, okay? And you know what? Sometimes it's just better that way.
Yeah. Like there are people like FKA Twigs and Caroline Polachek, and even then I have gripes with them. I'm such a dick. The thing is, I love all of them, and that's why I have gripes with them. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't give a fuck to dissect their work that much.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I respect their work. That's why I have an opinion on it.
Oh, sorry. I just kicked you guys. Yeah, literally. I actually agree with that, too. Because it's like, there's something so, like, I don't know. I think it's, like, a little creepy to me when you're one of those, like, obsessive fans where, like, they can absolutely do no wrong. Like, be real. Be for real. You know?
Yeah, and like, for example, like with Caroline Polachek, she kind of has that thing that a lot of girls do in fine arts, especially in university, where they just cannot stop with the imagery of like blood and cum.
Oh my god.
And like Caroline is like, do you remember like one of her singles for her latest album literally had like sperm, I think, like swimming around or some shit like that, and it was like something about like sexuality and other things. Like they're just always obsessed with sexuality, which I just don't relate to. Yeah, because to me sexuality is like kind of like an appendix in life. Like, I can live without it. Yeah, it's there.
It's there.
It can just not be there, and I wouldn't, like, nothing would be like, it's not my center that I would want to comment on.
Yeah, even like in terms of like what I think about my own womanhood, I'm not thinking like about my sexuality, to be honest, or like sex, like in a very like literal way. Yeah. I don't know, my world doesn't revolve around it, my sense of myself doesn't revolve around it, and it's kind of just like in terms of like feminism, it's just kind of a flat topic now. It's just like
I think so, because like especially because it seems like it is always the same fucking conversation, because people are constantly, like, I'm not even talking about younger people, I'm talking about people of different ages being behind all the time. Yeah. It's like, this has been discussed at length, like, many times. Many Yet we come back to the same fucking conversation where people are like, they can't just, like, prioritize. I don't know. I think it's, like, all comes back to not being able to decenter men. And this conversation even is really fucking annoying to me, to be honest, because I just genuinely, this is me on TikTok. Whenever there's like a video, there's one that I watch just because I like that woman, because she's like really interesting in terms of like her analysis of like Sex and the City or whatever. Her name is Cecilia something, and like, I like her, but in general, whenever even she starts speaking too much about like men or like what they're like or something,
Yeah.
Which she rarely does because she's kind of like more like dissentering kind of situation. I scroll away as soon as like there's a TikTok of someone being like, "Oh man," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm just swiping
like,
away,
girl."
It's so confusing being a girl.
No, it's just like when anything about men comes up, you automatically go back, girl.
Yeah, because the thing is, I'm just like, I'm bored. I do not want to be discussing the same fucking topic all the time.
Yeah, and I think like maybe for us, maybe it's so exasperated for us because we did fucking go to art school and we did have to learn this shit, and like we had to face a lot of vulva art. Like if I see another charcoal vagina, I will actually shoot myself in the face. If I see another vulva painted so badly, drawn so badly, and someone explained to me, yeah, it's about the, you know, like the how human and like how sometimes it's so grotesque and blah blah blah, I'm gonna lose it.
And how we just are with nature. What are you talking about? Oh my god. I'll jump off a cliff, bitch, if you don't shut the fuck up. Actually, no, I will throw you off of it. Because what are we doing here?
Yeah.
At this point,
if we're just still talking about this, all I have to say is scratch your minge, sniff your fingers, and learn that you have bigger fish to fry.
She fucking loves that quote so much.
I say it like differently every time because I can't remember. Yeah. Since my concussion, I can't like remember what it is properly.
Dude, it's just like I don't know. It's always so surprising to me that this conversation of like competition and pitting women against each other and whatever is like constantly brought up. It's like, it's kind of strange because it's like, how are we past this? Like, haven't we had this conversation many times, even on the scale of like the stupidest tabloids talking about it too? Like it permeated culture to the point where everyone heard about it at least once.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know what it is, it makes it like, it's cool that they worked together and made a song together. It's always cool to see two artists make a song together, and enjoy that they did that, and not the more that you hyper focus on it, the more like kind of cringy, and I don't know how to explain that feeling. We talked about this before. It kind of makes it seem like it's so abnormal, you know, when it should just be like normalized at this point.
Like they had basically a public conversation on it, like on a track, which is cool, totally fine, whatever, but it's just the way that people talk about it makes it sound dumber and dumber with each conversation. Like they try to bring in more and more meaning like to it, and the text, the lyrics themselves cannot hold it up. Like you can't hold it up with just like a couple of it's kind of like when people were so obsessed with Taylor Swift lyric that it's not even that cringe on its own, but then people keep on repeating it as if it's like fucking gospel, like something like what from Blank Space, where she was like but darling, I'm a nightmare dressed like a daydream or something like that. It's a cute lyric for a pop song.
Hey, if it were
it's up to play on words or whatever.
If it were up to me, she's what was the lyric? She's a daydream dressed as a nightmare?
No, nightmare dressed as a daydream.
I would say she is a nightmare dressed like a nightmare. She has terrible style.
You don't want to catch strays. You don't want to catch strays of Swifties. Yeah, they're everywhere.
Well, and then that just proves my point. I could go on about my thoughts on Taylor Swift, so come for me.
Well, that's the thing.
I won't go there. But if you do come for me for this opinion, then it's just proving my point.
It's just like, it's just one of those things where I remember that the first time I heard it in a song, I'm like, that's cute, because especially it's a pop song. It's a pop song about something like silly, but she still makes it fun to listen to because of like those like play on words, whatever the fuck. But then when she starts to talk about it like it's a genius like lyric, and everyone else starts to bring it up whenever they try to defend her online about her like lyricism or her writing, is you don't even have to do that. She has a whole massive ass body of work. If someone wanted to go and listen to it and actually see if she's a good writer, they would go and listen to her B-sides and stuff like that instead of listening to like the singles that are usually a lot more accessible than the other stuff, because that's how it works in this industry. You need something accessible to be your lead single.
She actually doesn't need any defending, guys.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
she's a billionaire.
She's a billionaire who literally has 10 albums or something like that. You can clearly, that bitch can write.
Yeah.
whether you like how she writes or not is up to you. You know, like it's your taste, not your taste, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But it's so funny when people bring up the most average lyrics.
Yeah.
And they start parading them around, and they just make it look worse than it is.
That's what it is.
Like, they genuinely make, like, they are not doing her any favors by doing that.
Right?
I'm like, dude, if you're a Swiftie, you will stop this, because
Yeah.
you're not doing her any favors.
If you really care about Taylor, you
Allison Swift. Is she Allison? I think she is. Taylor. If I said something wrong, just ignore it, bitch.
Yeah.
Do not shoot me.
Yeah, she's concussed, okay? Lest we
Yeah.
forget. And I'm just recovering from a concussion I had a week earlier, so. But anyways, like, guys, you don't really need to do all that.
No, but I think that the fact that what emergency intercom did, that's fucking funny.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Like, Drew, fuck it up. Honestly, that's great. Like, that's the type of thing that makes it actually like a cultural phenomena.
Mm-hmm.
That type of, like, a bunch of, like, memes, other shit like that about it, right? Instead of being like, oh my god, they solved misogyny. I think they did it.
They eradicated men, finally.
One small step for a human and a really big one for women. Like, be for real. Like, this is crazy.
I know. It's kind of like what we were talking about. Damn, I'm gonna catch strays for everything I say today. When we were talking about that Monster High like clip, that reel about the girl.
Oh yeah, something.
She's like, I'm autistic.
Oh yeah. But people were pissed about it though. Like, autistic people were pissed about it too, which is fair, because the thing is, again, the way that they present everything as like such a novelty rather than just a part of life. Like, just
Right.
there are just people who are like autistic. They're just people who are deaf. They're just people who are something. Like, it shouldn't. You can't just be like stopping the whole show to state something with such like weird tone and attitude and expect it to like go over well.
Yeah, they making it seem like it's like, oh my god, you're, even though like obviously the, what are girls, monsters? I don't know.
Ghouls.
Oh, sorry, the ghouls. Even though they were like accepting and whatever, it just like how dramatic that was just made it seem like, oh my god, she's an alien.
Yeah, and a lot of people are like kind of pissed off about like those people who like first generation or third generation of like releases of those like iterations of those characters or whatever. And I'm like, I think that the reason why some people who were into the first iteration who don't like the third, there are some people who are just like weirdos who like scream about non-binary people who are like, don't you dare put them in there, you know. There are some people who are like that, but most people, I think that they just kind of look at it and they go, well, the whole point of this fucking thing was that it's a bunch of people, a bunch of beings that are all so fucking different with so many quirks that you don't have to explain shit. Like, instead of making a character like autistic or, for example, like non-binary or whatever, and then making it such a big thing, you could have just added it on without making it a big deal, because that bitch is made out of 100 different body parts of different people. She's already weird. They are already weird. They have a unique collection of things about them that makes it already kind of a thing that you need to study to understand. Like, she's not like a straight up just like a person and that's it. She has a bunch of other things, like her special powers, her like this and that.
Like, she's a being beyond that one aspect.
That's why it's so easy to actually inject things like that, or like to introduce different types of diversity in shows like this, because they are already characters that require people to learn about them, to understand them.
It just makes it so cringe, you know, when you have to like make it a scene. As Queen Alex Consani said. Holy fuck, that was a concussion brain fart.
I was like, yeah.
Thank you to my man. As our Queen Alex Consani said, she said, hey man, how you identify is so deeply personal to you. Just like support and love a person for just who they are, like beyond that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to understand it completely because it's very personal, you know? But like, people are people regardless. Like, we're more than just like that aspect, you know?
Yeah.
And like, hyper focusing on it sometimes I think does the opposite effect. Like, Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, I think about it, I feel like it's really strange that we started to pathologize every behavior.
Yeah.
Even when people are exhibiting any type of behavior that's like a quirk, I find it easier to see people as a combination of quirks. Some people have more, some people have less.
Yeah.
But it's just really weird to be around people who like just need to consistently put their every single one of their behavior into a pathology descriptor. Like, for example, to me, it's kind of normal if you are not good at focusing on like a lecture for a whole hour.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, that's ADHD. If you want like medication or you need something, or you need something for it or whatever, that's totally cool. But it seems really strange to suggest that really human behavior is abnormal.
I know. I'm just a girl.
But also, like, I don't, like, who cares?
Yeah, like, literally, who cares?
I'm kind of, like, starting to get fed up with that I'm just a girl, though.
Yeah, I actually hate that song.
Not that song. Just, like, people constantly fucking saying it. I'm like, what is that supposed to fucking mean?
It's the same thing as, like, let's talk about that, actually.
Actually, you know what? Let me give you, like, a little bit of a story time.
Okay.
Real short. Remember what you were gonna say. Do you remember?
Well, we'll see when we get there.
Okay. Anyway, so a couple of days ago, I think it was even yesterday, I had like the power in my house was like really weird. Yeah. Half of the power was out. So I think that like the I don't even know what it is called in English, but like one of those power thingies that has like a bunch of toggles in it and whatever. Like half of it was like the breaker. Yes. So the breaker was acting up, and I was like looking at it, like trying to figure out what was wrong. And my roommate was like, I think she was on the phone with her boyfriend. She was like, "Oh, we're just girls," and I was like, "Is he the one fucking fixing it right now?"
Oh
no, it's me.
Oh my god, that would have pissed me off.
It's the same thing every single time. Like all of my roommates' boyfriends were always fucking useless. Never fix nothing. I'm always fixing everything, and they always say things like, "Oh, we're just girls. We can't figure it out." I'm figuring it out. I'm fixing it.
So I've had that so many times with
then
like,
go fix it if you're such a big man.
Yeah. I had a situation like that too, where like I was like, this guy was like trying to fix something and had to do with like a lot of wires and like using fucking basic shit like a screwdriver. And they're like, I was like, "Oh, do you want me to help you?" And they're like, "No," like assuming that I wouldn't know how to do it. They're like, "No, I don't think you could do it." And
why would you suggest it?
Huh?
Why would you suggest it if you didn't know?
What do you mean?
Like, obviously you know.
Yeah, like if I ask.
They like assume that you don't.
It's like, why would I ask? And also, like, I'm actually really good at that shit because like I would help my dad all the time fix stuff like that. So it's like, do you need help or something? And like, obviously, like, why would I ask if it's like, why if I were like, "Oh, do you need help jumping your car?" Why would I ask to help jump your car if I don't know how to jump a car?
Yeah, why would I offer?
Yeah,
help if I wouldn't know how to help.
Yeah, and then I fixed it.
Yeah, like no, it's just it's one of those things where it just annoys the fuck out of me. It's the same thing with we were talking about something. I'm talking about something serious, and someone would just go like, "Oh, it's just we're just girls," and I'm like, "No, bitch. Cancer is not just girls." Like, what are you talking about? Like, I sometimes it like pisses me off. Sometimes I'm like, okay, like it's a joke, right? But
it's an annoying one.
In some context, I'm like, just keep it to yourself.
Yeah,
girl, I'm begging.
I hate like some of the memes and stuff are like, not, I guess, are they memes? I don't know, whatever, like Instagram posts that just like, "I'm just a girl," is like so annoying to me because it's like, nah, dude, you're just rich.
But also it's just weird because like, okay, I'm just a girl, and
like I don't want to sound like a pick me being like, "Yeah, I fix cars and I like do all this cool shit." Like, no, but it's also just like, it's fine if you do girly things like you're a passenger princess, or like you don't know how to fix, I don't know, like that kind of shit. I don't really know what this meme's about at this point. Like, I'm just a girl. That's the thing.
I feel like when you think about it, it's not about identity as much, because like, what does it mean, "I'm just a girl"? It's always something demeaning. That's why I started to kind of get like wince at it, because at first when people started to say that, it was kind of ironic. "Oh, I'm just a girl," you know, kind of like talking about more you as like just existing in the universe, being like, "I'm just a girl," you know. But even then it's like, I'm just a human. Even then I'm like, and I don't think it's like that funny.
Yeah, it's not that funny.
I need you to come up with a joke, bitch. At least once in a while.
I'm just mad because I actually really love that song because I love old Gwen Stefani and old No Doubt. Like, I grew up on that shit.
I do not remember that song at all.
But what I will say is, like, with that trend that I found, like, at least the ones I was seeing, like, I thought it was more just, like, girls being, like, we shouldn't, like, pretend to not, you know, like, there's a lot of female cliches, you know what I mean? Wanting to be a housewife, not knowing how to fix shit, or, like, all that stuff, and, like, girls are just, like, embracing it, like, you know what, like, we don't have to pretend that we're, like, you know, like,
I hate cars.
Yeah, like,
I don't give a fuck about cars at all.
I'm different, we don't need, and I, like, I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
But again,
it's just, like,
the phrasing, I'm just a girl.
It's just getting out of hand.
And, it's getting out of, it became... so like, brain dead.
Yeah, it's like it'll just be like a girl walking in her coquette outfit, like getting a matcha and just be like, got a matcha latte, I'm just a girl.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is
And I'm
this?
like, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong, technically speaking.
Yeah, but it's just like, it's just annoying.
It is annoying. Like, that's the thing. It's kind of like, I guess it's the same with every other meme that gets overused to the point where it's like, okay, well.
Yeah. It's like not obscure humor to me, then I don't find it funny. Like, there are some things that will always be funny to me.
Let me send you literally a video of a show that I've never fucking watched. Attack on Titan. The Titan and some other character just like dancing, like shaking ass to each other.
Yeah. It's just like, you know.
Why is it funny to me? God knows. Because I haven't watched that show.
Well, it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter because it's just funny. Because I know that this motherfucker that's like scary and whatever and looks like he doesn't have any skin eats those other motherfuckers. So it's really funny that he's dancing and clapping his cheeks in front of this character, and I don't like that's enough for me.
Yeah, he's giving him his last show before he like dies.
Literally,
like, eat this up, baby, because you're about to be eaten up.
Ew.
We're gonna talk about also another topic that kind of falls in line with this Charli thing.
Well, it is what it is. You know, sometimes you bonk your head and you just have to live with it. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Like, this is actually, like, so unfiltered concussion thoughts.
Yeah.
It's just, like, billing shit out at this point.
I mean, we prepared. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. We did a shared notes situation, but
we bonked. No.
Take that. No. No,
that's not what I meant.
Oh my god. Well, we are fake common law partners, you know? Get those benefits, baby.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
hello.
She's like, what'd you
She heard it and she was like, no, you didn't. No, you don't. Not under this roof.
You know what that's giving? It's giving that guy that's like, keep your kids away from me. Do you know that meme?
No.
Oh, he was like, you don't know that meme? It's the guy in the car, and he's like, yeah, you better keep your kids away from me because I'll. And he's like, wait, pause.
Oh yeah. That dude was like, I think he's like an army guy or something.
Yeah. What's giving that?
That was so fucking funny, actually. Yeah.
Anyways, we're not bonking. We got bonked in the head, both of us, is what she meant.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Also, I was gonna mention something about video games. How we like talked about Doki Doki Literature Club. My sister didn't know about it. Well, she kind of knew about it.
My sister buried it in her memory because my brother actually did play it, and I was there with him when he played. I think just a portion of it. And I was like, this is so. It was like the slur slide part, and I had to leave because
yeah. It's kind of okay. So the reason why I wanted to bring it up wasn't even to talk about this game as much as like not even games, but just like art in general. I wanted to bring up the topic of how people sometimes use really serious topics as just like jump scares. Mm-hmm. And to me, that game definitely reads like that. Mm-hmm. And not to dog on the creator too much, because I'm sure that first of all, I think that he probably was really young when he made it. Like, because it was his first game, whatever.
Yeah, and there's some genius aspects to that game.
Honestly, there's like a lot of aspects to that game that are so ahead of its time.
Yeah, and very clever, and
definitely changed the game, literally. That was really interesting, like having like so many twists and turns, and also having these twists in the narrative spill out into the the player's reality.
Like breaking the fourth
wall and just the file deleting stuff and whatever. That's very innovative, and like I don't want to undermine that aspect of it, because I definitely think that it's really interesting and really worthwhile. However, whenever I think about it, I think about the character of Sayori and
Monica,
and also the girl Yuri. And I guess all of them have like a really fucked like background or whatever, but it's just sometimes I sit there and I'm like, it's so crazy how we just do really, like, we just write this type of shit sometimes that uses these things in a way that is really strange. Because the thing is, sometimes when people make horror movies or something like that and it's supernatural, I feel like it's easier to digest in that sense, because even when something as traumatic as this happens, it doesn't feel like they have to address it in a certain way, because it's not reality per se. Do you know what I mean? But in this case, it's not reality, but at the same time, you kind of approached this game in a way that's making them feel real.
Because it's supposed to be like a simulator, so at least it's trying to follow, like, pretend to be that.
So it kind of becomes one of those things where you're like, it's definitely on that edge. Well, I think that it steps into like the wrong, like this is kind of wrong territory. Well, at the same time, I think that honestly it was just mishandled rather than done intentionally.
I don't think
be shitty or something.
He probably was young, and I don't think he probably didn't have like bad intentions, but I think he did make, or what do you call it, I was gonna say he made unserious. Like, what the fuck? That's not even a word. Like, he did make light of really, really, really dark and serious topics. It's kind of like the opposite of what we were talking about with Charli.
Honestly.
It's like the reverse.
The reverse of it, honestly, because I feel like with a lot of media, it happens quite often. Well, at the same time, like, I feel like if you're going to be making a horror movie or whatever, maybe lean into a little bit of like, supernatural. To take that edge off a little bit of responsibility as to how you write those characters, because I feel like it's just kind of, I don't know if it can even ever be really handled that well, because it's just one of those, not just that topic, but a lot of topics that are as heavy as this. It's like they're always gonna be in the realm of, is this the truth? Are you reflecting reality of it, right? And I feel like in many ways it's so subjective that it's like, what is reality when it comes to this topic,
right?
It's always kind of, I don't know, heavy-handed oftentimes. It
kind of, I think it's just like also just a combination of what that game is supposed to come off as. Like, it's supposed to be like a dating simulator, and then it also has like that aspect of breaking the fourth wall. Like, let's say it was just like a normal horror game. There are horror games that do still make light of situations like this, but it would at least, like, you wouldn't, as a player, I think you would still have
expect it.
Expect it and have kind of like understand that it's a game. But like, this game is like, the whole point of it is to like fuck with you as the player, like,
and also the fact that you can't fix it. Even if you clock that Sayori is not well, you can't do shit. You can either tell her that you want to see someone else and you always saw her as a friend, or you can date her. In either case, she ends up the same way. So it's like a useless choice. While at the same time, you can't do what you actually should have done, which is call 911. It's a freaky game.
It is a freaky game.
Again, great for the gaming industry, pushing things forward in terms of like
gameplay,
trying different things, gameplay, whatever. But it's kind of a little nasty.
I've been a nasty. That's also getting annoying too.
Oh, you guys, honestly, her new album Quantum Baby is coming out in August. Tinashe. That's what I'm talking about.
If you didn't know.
And the logo, literally IDBY logo.
I know, kind of crazy, hey?
It's crazy, huh? I need her to wear it.
Yeah.
Like, I need her to wear it. Because this is too funny for me.
Girls, tell Tinashe.
Yeah, go to Tinashe.
Link Tinashe.
Be like,
IDBY.
Mayhaps collaborate.
Yeah. So all in all, this pod was really us talking about like what to take seriously and what to not take seriously. And you know what? We didn't solve it. Yeah, there's no answer. No answer. Everything in life is a case by case basis. Fuck.
Damn. When you're trying to provide answers and you just go,
yeah,
mayhaps. They like ask you a yes or no question and you go, like, mayhaps.
You go, inevitably. Sorry guys, if you came here for answers, you ain't getting none.
Yeah, well, anyway, mayhaps next time
we'll give you answers.
Yeah, mayhaps we're not gonna be as bonked.
Yeah.
In the head.
I hope that this was at least entertainment.
Hopefully. Not me wanting to say hopesicle.
Hopesicle.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Okay, maybe we should just rest and eat.
Yeah. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Okay.
It was still a nice chat about, pop culture and art. But have a good day, you guys.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Bye.
Bye.